word problems tend to be a little bit harder because we have to make sure we understand the context of it and then able to apply the algebra to it. So let's read the word problem first. So it says Farmer Joe owns a square area of land. Okay, so the black highlighted area, okay, which I will highlight here. So this square area here, this is Joe's land. Okay, all in here. This is what he owns to start. Now, the government, they take away 2 kilometers from one length. So they're going to take away this piece here. So they're going to take away 2 kilometers. So this is going to go away. That's no longer his. And they're going to give him back some length m along the other edge. So in this case here, I should change that variable here. Okay, so this is m. So they're going to give him this land to compensate taking away this land. Maybe they need to build a road through there or something. So they're taking away the length and giving him some width. So we want to write an expression for the area lost and the area gained. Okay, so I'm going to just highlight this here. So the area lost, we'll just do that. So this is the area that he lost right in there. Okay, so the area lost. That area in here, what is the length and width of that area? Okay, well, the length is x, okay, and the width is a number too. So this is going to be 2 times x. It's going to be that area there. So that's the area lost. The area gained is going to be this area in here. Okay, so this is the area gained. And so to be able to write that, we have to write length and width. So the width is m here. And if I look over here, this is x. The whole edge is x. This little bit is 2. So this piece that we want to use is going to be x, and we take away the 2 kilometers. So if I do this x minus 2 times m, the area gained is going to be 2. I'm going to write it here, 2x minus 2. It's going to be 2x, sorry, let's fix that. Made a mistake here. So it's going to be x minus 2. So I'm going to end up with x times m, which is mx, negative 2 times m, which is 2m. So there's my area lost and my area gained. So my area gained was mx minus 2m. That's how much area I gained. And the area lost was 2x. Okay, so that would be the area that I lost here. So if I want to solve, make an equation here, I can say that the government, so the problem maybe is that the government took away land and they gave it back to him here. Okay, they didn't want to, whatever land they took away, they have to give it back to him, otherwise it's not fair. So we're going to say that those two areas are equal. So I'm going to say that 2x must be equal to mx minus 2m. Okay, so that's the area that I lost equals the area that I gained. And then we need to solve for x. Okay, so this is a particularly hard problem now because now we have variables, but we do know how to solve. To solve for x, we need to get x together. So I'm going to subtract mx from both sides. That's going to become a 0 pair. And I'm going to have just 2m left on this side. To solve for x, I have to factor. I have 2 x's, but I need 1 x to solve for. The key to doing that is anytime I have 2 x's, I can factor to get 1x, like that. And once I've done that, I now have times. I can get rid of times by dividing. So I'm just going to rewrite the equation here. So if I want to get rid of the times by 2 minus m, I divide by the factor 2 minus m. If I divide one side, I have to divide the other side. Be careful, we can't cancel things fun like 2 and 2 or m and m. This is the whole bracket represents a factor. This can cancel because the whole brackets are the same. So I end up with x is equal to negative 2m over 2 minus m. Okay, so there's my answer. So the x that I originally had is equal to this 2m minus negative 2m over 2 minus m. Okay, so this problem is hard, not so much in the visual pieces, but the algebra pieces here. Okay, so the last part of this problem says original square area is 100 kilometers square. How long does m have to be to gain more land? Okay, so we know that x is equal to 10. Okay, so we're going to make this x minus 10 minus 2. So this is going to be 80. So this is going to be 8 along here. Okay, and this is going to be x plus m. So it's going to be 10 plus m. And this is going to be, so we know what x is, this is going to be equal to 20. Okay, so this is going to be 10 times 2, which is 20. Okay, so how long does the length m have to be to gain more land? Well, we have already our equality. So lost equals gained. And we know what x is. So I'm going to rewrite this in terms of, we know x is 10 kilometers. Okay, so there's our equation when it's equal. And we want to gain more land. That means that the lost must be less than the gained. And then we can solve for m. So we can then solve for m here. This is going to be 20 is less than 10 minus 2m is 8m. And then divide both sides by 8. I get 20 divided by 8, which simplifies to, that's going to be 10 over 4, or 5 over 2, which is 2.5. So m must be bigger than 2.5 kilometers for us to gain more land than we lost. Okay, so if this m is 2.5 kilometers longer, we'll have more land gained than lost up here. So this last problem is a fairly difficult problem. This is very challenging. So this would be considered a challenge problem. So there's lots of pieces in here that are kind of extra, dealing with the extra variables. Okay, having to write our answers with the variable expressions, having to work with an inequality now, okay, and with variables as well, and then being able to figure out which pieces go where. So this is a challenging problem, but this is the types of problems that we need to do to get the top grades.